started. You're already arguing.
Yes.
All right. Well, listen. Welcome to our third Spreecast, and we are live.
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 One of us is a little drunk, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
We are live from the home.
No, we're not drunk at all.
Wait, can I say where we are?
No.
Well, you got to talk over there so they can hear you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Just to confirm, if you guys can hear us, somebody leave us a note in the box right over there.
Yes.
So I want to know that you can hear us.
Over there.
Over there.
No.
We are live from the Alexander abode. We are in the East Wing.
There are some things that are going on over there.
Yes, it says, Trisha Sheldon says hello.
Hi.
1964 Nicole says, hearing you fine. Courtney can hear us. Stephanie says, hearing you in Vienna. It's from Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie in Vienna.
Hi.
And here, let's go down who's here really quick. Hold on. We're going to we're going to see who's here real quick.
He has to tell me.
I have to tell her because she has to
I have to do like that.
Yeah. Well, Trisha Sheldon is here. And you know Trisha because... Where's your drink?
Oh, yes.
Cheers.
To you.
Thank you for our mugs, Trisha. And
They really are nifty.
And I have the book right here.
What is that?
You haven't seen this yet, huh?
No.
Right. Well, don't get all caught up in the book.
Oh, look at this.
This is from Hot as Hell last year. Wait, we're still saying hi to people.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right, let's go back to saying hi to people. So we have 1964 Nicole, and that's the best I can call you. Courtney is, I told you, Courtney.
Your friend.
My friend.
From childhood.
Her cousins grew up next door to me. Donna Marie is here. You know Donna. Donna was.
Donna from Donna.
That's what she likes to go. Donna from Donna. But Donna, she was on set with us, remember?
Yes, I do.
That's, and then right here we have, I believe that's Katja from Germany.
Oh, Katja, hello.
And that's Katja. And then, of course, with Katja, I saw Melanie on here before.
Yes, you did.
But her name has vanished for the moment. So either she's gone crazy and lost control, but nothing. My name is Penny. Friends call me Nick.
Huh?
That explains 1964 Nickel. I understand.
Oh.
Hi, Penny. Good morning from Germany. That's from that's Miss Katja.
Katja, what time is it there?
Is it 4 a.m. in Germany right now? Good morning.
You're probably right.
Is it about 4 a.m.?
I have to stop moving away from you.
You can go anywhere you want.
I just
all right. We're gonna go. This is all right. Let's start here before we get anywhere.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone on the internet to chat like this before?
Never in my life. Ever.
And it's crazy?
I'm a little scared.
Okay. And everyone can still hear us, yeah, so that's good.
Thank you.
If you're watching and you would like to, how far back do you want to be?
I want to be like the
Detroit?
same size as
Should we go back to Detroit?
Like a mountain and you're the sapling.
Oh.
There we go.
We are, if you would like to go online with us and join us, I'm trying to move this around and make this look perfect for you without dropping the computer. How's that? If you would like to come online with us, you are welcome to. There's a box right over here where your name is on it, and you can opt to go online with us if you'd like to talk with Denise directly. She is happy to talk to anybody. And then we have a little button. If you get scary, we just cut you off. How does that sound?
Yeah, and he's the censor.
Slam it down.
Mean and tough. And
You've
gorgeous.
never done this before.
No, I swear to you.
You're not on Facebook.
No.
You're not on Twitter.
No.
Trisha has offered to run your Facebook and Twitter accounts, and
Trisha, is she there?
She's there.
Trisha, did you really offer that?
Yeah, and I told her that I would ask you, but I know the answer.
I get into everything so late, I get sort of, that's not for me, and then I go, oh, that's really kind of interesting, and wow, I'm really missing out on a lot. And
like seatbelts. And
yes. So I, eventually probably, but I have to get over I'm not a Twitter person thing. I'm just afraid of it, to tell you the truth.
What are you afraid of?
Crazy people.
There's Melanie. Melanie, hi, Melanie.
Oh, hi, Melanie.
Okay, so if you have any questions, there is a box right there.
Right there.
Put the questions in the box. If you would like to possibly come online, you're welcome to come online. And
Steve could just ask me questions.
I can just ask questions. I'm good at that too. We all know that I know how to not shut up. But if you would like to,
nobody saw that because you moved the thingy.
No, they saw it. Just because I moved this, that's always on. That's our camera right there.
Oh.
See how amazing this is? This is not that different, I would like to say, than how we film Pretty.
Well, Pretty is a little on the loose side, the free side, if you will.
Sure.
A little free-souled, free-spirited.
Trisha just wrote she did offer anytime you're ready to run your Facebook and your Twitter accounts.
Okay, I may have to start a little therapy first, Trisha.
She's a little scared.
But I will think about it.
This book.
I'm loving this.
So this book they gave me this year at Hot as Hell, which was hot as, what do we say, hot as purgatory, because it was only about 98 degrees. It was cold.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
And it heated up right after y'all left. So anyway, this is a book they put together, and
I'm loving this. Look at all of this. Why is Marilyn Monroe in there? Oh, that's a statue, of course.
Of course. There's us, and there's Jonah and Michelle,
and
Diane Delano, and Kelsey. That's your other thing. But then, page sure because you'll see it's pretty cool. There's a note. I didn't realize there was a note. There's a private note that does not need to be
I won't read it in front of everybody. Oh, look at this. You did a whole... My goodness, look what you did. You did a whole book here. I mean, there's text and pictures and memory. Oh, I can't wait to read it. This would be incredibly rude to read it now.
No, just sit here and read quietly. We'll just all look at our feet.
Oh, you have a thanks page. How beautifully done is this?
My name's at the top. That's all that matters.
He is the boss.
No, but seriously, that's awesome and this is awesome. These are good. You know why these are good, Trisha? Is because they're big.
Yeah, they're terrific. And because they're red, you could go right through the holidays.
Fantastic.
And it's very show busy and show busy.
All right.
Which is cool.
Well,
there's a picture of me.
What else do you think was on
picture of me.
Oh my God,
shocking. Oh my God, there's another picture of me. And there's...
I have to suck it in.
That's really a cute picture of me, actually.
Okay, really? Well,
are you in here?
Let's talk more about you.
Let's talk more about Pretty.
Let me ask you a couple questions, though. If you guys have any questions to ask, you are more than welcome to ask questions. Here are some random questions, because we've known each other for...
1,000,002 years.
1,000,002 years. So, a couple questions that I have that I don't actually know the answer to, but I thought they would be interested in perhaps, knowing more about you.
Okay.
Here's one question I have for you, which is, I would like to know what actor or actress who is no longer with us, and what actor or actress who is still with us would you kill to work with? Who's somebody from yesteryear and who's somebody presently?
I think that would be a very long list. But first to my thinking, Katharine Hepburn.
Okay. What's your favorite Katharine Hepburn movie?
He knows I'm going to say Ollie Erickson Free, which was a movie that we made where I actually met and worked with Miss Hepburn, as we called her. And she was so darling. She didn't know who or what I was, but she thought maybe I was a little interesting. And she invited me into her trailer one day to chat, which was quite an honor, I later found out. And everybody, she was so used to be calling her Kate and being casual with her in a film company, as you do. And she quite liked and has mentioned it in interviews that she was called Miss Hepburn. Anyway, it was a film. The script was written partly by my husband and a marvelous friend of his who is no longer with us, sad to say, about two little boys, a hot air balloon, an old English sheepdog, and a crazy, wonderful old lady. And it was quite an experience. So I did love that experience. I loved that film. But, oh my gosh, Katharine Hepburn, Philadelphia Story, maybe one of the most spectacularly perfect films ever. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, and have you seen Stage Door?
Oh, yes, that was going to be my next one.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
Stage Door.
Stage Door is insane. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
So good.
And Golden Pond.
Oh, on Golden Pond, sure.
I have way too many answers to the questions. The one about, I was in love with a lot of actors when I was a kid who were in films that were like playing on television at that time. That James Cagney, Robert Taylor. I'm not going to forget everybody's name.
Well, who's somebody who's alive that you would love to work with? That would surprise people, like a Johnny Depp or somebody. I mean, do you think about that? Or?
I don't think I would go there. I might have to take this under advisement because I really need to think about it, because that's really
we can come back. We can table
question.
it.
Yes.
All right. So on the similar note,
yes,
of an actor other than the obvious,
Robert Redford.
sure. I meant directors. Other than the
you meant
obvious.
Oh.
So moving to directors.
Yes.
Which director besides me or your lovely husband would you have killed or still would kill to work with? Who's somebody?
I have worked with so many amazing directors. Oh my gosh, you should have given me these questions.
No, well, think about it. I'm going to type in the box while you do.
Okay.
Ask anything you like here. Okay. Well, like, what about well, we tried to do Hitchcock with the Inn. So, I mean, are you a Hitchcock fan?
I'm more of a you doing Hitchcock fan, to be perfectly
Me
honest.
explaining Hitchcock?
Well, it's sort of just your crazy, wonderful take on it. I do like Hitchcock movies. How could you not? Vincent Minnelli for musicals.
Okay.
I mean,
wait a minute. So we're getting into the musical world. So
am I not supposed to get into the
No, that's fine. Please get in the musical world. We all know, well, we know from General Hospital that there is a little bit of dancing in you, but is there any, I know the answer to this, is there singing in you?
Yeah, I've sung as a kid. I sang on television. My sister and I were part of a group of 4 children who sang. Oh boy, if I say the name, everybody's going to go look it up and say, my God, she's 112 years old.
Did they have cameras back then? Was it just
with candlelight?
It was a stoned into tablet.
Yes. And somebody just chiseling our images. And I sung solo. And in my high school, I went to a public high school. When we first came out here, I went to Beverly Hills High School. And I was a member of the choir. And in the fall semester of my 1 year there, I had the leading role in the play because they found out that I was an actor. And it was called Make Room for Ginger, which was a story about a young girl who wanted to be on the football team. And I got to wear,
You were Ginger?
I was Ginger.
All right.
In the thing and then the things and everything. But by the time we got to Spring Sing, I was in the chorus, and one of the dress rehearsals, the lovely young gal who was playing the heroine couldn't make it, and I got to stand in for her for one rehearsal.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, well, so you have a question here from Austria. Okay, may I ask a question from Stephanie in Austria? Now, Stephanie, wait, I have a quick question for you. Stephanie, you and I had a drink you're the Stephanie that I had a drink with in Palm Springs, right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Okay, moving on. Answer that in the box. Denise, did you go? Nope, wrong Stephanie. Well, then we will have a drink someday. Denise, did you go along when your husband shot in Austria? Obvious question from my side, yes.
Yes, I got there late because I was working. And they were almost finished. I got there as they were doing their last couple of days, and we were in. They had moved. I said I was there when they were filming. I really wasn't. I got there as they were finished, and they had moved for their post production work to Budapest. So I know Budapest very well. I came into the airport in Austria. I know Vienna.
And you put. She says, okay, Hungary.
Yes, I know Hungary much better. I know Vienna because I went to visit there. The 2 little boys who had done the film, Ollie Ollie Oxenfree, the little blonde boy, Dennis Dimster, his mother came from
Everything comes back to Ollie Ollie Oxenfree.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. And I had a couple of weeks off, and I had friends who were going to be going to Greece and taking a boat, and I had friends who were going to be in different places. And she had so wanted me, this little boy's lovely mother, to come and visit. And I was there alone in Austria, staying in the Zacher Hotel with one of the little rooms over the flags where you could look at the back of the opera house. And she drove me all through Vienna, and they took me out for the spring wine kind of festival. I don't remember the names anymore. It was a lovely experience, the best of which might have been walking down to,
she says, ha ha ha, right next to where I work, the opera.
No.
Yes.
Well, what is the famous, as you walk down the street that you can only walk on with the cobblestones, pastry shop, the most famous one of all? Kind of on the left as you're walking down from the hotel away from the opera house.
We'll wait for her answer. She will pop up. Wait, isn't this? No. Okay, so I'm going to ask one quick. Oh my God, don't make me say that. Stephansplatz, the church?
heading toward the church, or with the hotel, the soccer in back of you, down the Promenade Street. You know, we call them malls here, where there's no traffic allowed.
Stephanie, do you have a camera? What are we looking for? She's looking for the dessert place?
It's a pastry shop.
A patisserie or pastry shop?
Very famous.
Okay, oh my God. Karnternerstrasse.
Okay.
She says, okay. Okay, geez, there are many. Of course there are many. Wait, Stephanie, let me ask you something.
It might come to me. Don't worry about it.
Gerstner? Stephanie, do you have a webcam on you at the moment with us where we can, I don't know how to open it though. Okay, got you. Okay, wait, we're coming back to you, Stephanie. Cafe de Mel? I'm touring Austria. What the hell?
No, I'm not going to remember. It will come to me. It's just a famous little pastry shop, and you can get everything mit a lot of Schlag.
So let me ask you, okay, so hold on. So let's jump here for a second. Okay, I have a couple of things that are going on. Keep some members of me chat. Penny Nickel 1964, you can give me a yes or no on this. Do you have a camera? Do you want to, instead of me asking this question, do you want me to put you on screen and you can ask her the question yourself? If anyone here would like to go on screen, you can ask to put on
Clint
screen.
Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood is the director and actor.
Clint and his wife a million years ago as a fellow actor, but I love his directing. Somebody today alive and still directing.
Got it. I'm with you. Okay. So,
and I got to work with Tony Geary, who's one of my favorite actors for people who are alive. Very few people are more talented or as talented as that. See, I'm catching up. I told you.
Yeah, she catches up.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So I gotta scroll back up for a second here. Hang on, because there is a question from.
No idea.
Okay, what was it? Okay, Penny would like to know, what was it like working with John Cassavetes, Sal Mineo, and James Whitmore in Crimes in the Streets?
I was 15 years old.
So 3 years ago.
You're right. I knew Sal. My dad was his agent, and he and his mom and dad were very close friends with our family as a result. And he was the boy that my dad never had, so he was kind of like our adopted brother, and I loved him as a friend. I was madly in love with John Cassavetes and broken-hearted one day when we were all out to lunch at a little cafe down the street from where we were shooting. And I was with my mother, of course. And his beautiful wife came in, and they were very huggy and very a little too touchy for my taste, and it just ruined my day. I never worked with him as a director, but what a darling man he was. And then who was the third name that you said? Who was the third name?
She wants you to also know you were gorgeous then, and you still are. But the third name was James Whitmore.
Oh, he was a lovely man. I didn't get to know him very well, but he just oozed gentleness and kindness and warmth, and one of those great acting guys who are, my favorite people in life.
Ask your question.
One of the guys, I'm doing stupid again. One of the guys in the group, the best friend of John Cassavetes' character. That was one of the only times in my life, by the way, that I ever played older than I actually was. I don't know how I got that job.
You played older as Lola.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so that really wasn't work. The truth of that was we just showed up, and you were there, and that's how you normally are.
And that's my real hair.
Okay, so he was old. He played older.
He became a director, and he's a really, really fine film director.
All right.
If anybody knows who the other guy, the two main guys in the gang, pretty gentle from what we think of gangs as being now, again, it's going to come to me. Mark, no, it'll come to me.
She says I have the DVD. You're great in it.
Oh, aren't you darling?
Aren't you just?
I thought it was a little boring.
Rydell is what she just wrote.
Mark Rydell.
Mark
Rydell became a wonderful director.
Fantastic.
But that was the weirdest character, and I never knew if that was really Mark or he just was an amazing. I was, 3.5 minutes old. I was still going to school on the set, and all those guys, and that I got to stand around with them and walk down to lunch with them and sit in the cafe and have lunch. I probably should have been paying more attention to the work I was doing, but I loved it.
If you have any more, keep your questions coming, and if you want to to say anything, you're welcome to. If you want to be on camera with Denise, I keep jumping back and forth here because it tells me who's online. You can go to this box on the right and just say that you'd like to go on air with us, and I'll be happy to put you on, and you can talk to her directly. Trisha Sheldon asks, how much fun was combat?
Again, group of guys, and me, way too young for anyone they might be interested in. They were.
Was this 50s or 60s?
Oh God, 40s. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I came out here in 56. I don't know. Maybe it was 58.
All right, well, here's your next question. Tracy Elder would like to know, how was it really, she wrote in quotes, working with Chris Robinson? You once said you had said he beat to his own drum.
I said he marched to his own drum.
Oh, well, there, okay.
Chris, in life, one of the most bizarre characters I've ever known. Working with him, he drove me nuts. There was a scene where I pick up a pillow and hit him. That was me, Denise, hitting Chris, because it was not written into the script. He went at one point to comfort me, and I said, if you pat me, I swear I'll knock your block off or something. That was me to Chris.
I remember that.
You are so fortunate as an actor if you have a partner with whom you harmonize as you work and where you can make a connection between you. And when that red light went on, boy, we did have that, and I was extremely grateful for it. But Chris was beyond weird. He still is. Very gorgeous man.
He just logged on. He's like, would like to.
He did not. Very, very gorgeous man. Very attractive to women. I taught him, he has told me, how to work with a teleprompter and with cue cards, to my great dismay, because he would never learn anything. You
guys were taped. GHU were taped.
Well, when I first went on there, which was before Chris got there, early on when Michael was playing whatever his name is.
Yeah, Rick Weber.
Rick Weber. We were live at that point. By the time Chris came on, we were with 3 cameras.
Were you in the show when it was 15 minutes, 30 minutes? What was it?
30 and 45 and an hour. I did those.
And then it was
I didn't do the 15 that I remember.
I don't even know if it was. I'm just saying. Now, Days of Our Lives started. Was 15 minutes or was 30 minutes?
No, I remembered always being 30 minutes, but I wasn't there for the first 6 months. My husband, who is not an actor, and he is told that by his actor friends often, was hired against his will, literally, to be their young romantic leading man when the show first went on the air. He'd been through Marquette in the theater, bachelor, master's, had gone to Yale on a doctoral program, but it was all theater. And he'd come out to California and had learned very fast, and was under contract eventually Universal as their preeminent pilot director. He was there the first 6 months, and I was asked to come in actually and play Julie originally, but I didn't want to. I was in college, and I was in college early, and I was loving it, and I didn't want to sign a contract. And then in the summer, they had this other character of Susan and asked me if I would come back then. What was the question?
I don't know. You got off tangent.
I know. It was interesting to me. I hope it was interesting to somebody.
Penny wants you to know her mom loved you on Days, followed you on GH, which is how she found you.
Oh.
And Tracy knows the scene you mean when you hit her with the pillow. Okay, so I have some other questions.
Okay.
All right, so I would
This is fun. I'm liking it.
Are you enjoying this so far?
I really am.
Well, it gets good. We could be drunker.
I keep trying to get back to where you are.
I'm not that far back.
If I didn't know you, I'd say you were upstaging. No, this is upstaging. Upstaging is when one actor keeps moving backward in the set, so you have to follow him.
I keep looking because the 2 dogs, all that noise is the 2 dogs. This is normal. Okay, speaking of languages, Denise, Stephanie asks.
Yes.
What was your... we answered Trisha's question about combat. Sorry.
I love doing combat. I did 2 of them.
What is combat?
It was a series about a group of guys in the war.
Oh. Okay.
It was a very good series. Excellent.
Speaking of languages, Denise, what was your favorite language? I remember you were studying some. Sorry, you spoke of college.
I had every year of school. I had French up to including UCLA. I have studied Italian a little bit, a short period of time. I love languages. I love words. Gee, I wouldn't have recognized that. You never quiet down. And I've learned a little Spanish because when I was working in New York, I was staying in and taking care of a friend's apartment in New York, and they had a housekeeper who was bringing young girls in from Central and South America, and I had to learn Spanish to talk to them, and I was sort of teaching them how to take care of the apartment a little bit. So I have usable Spanish, virtually non-existent Italian. I can say a few things, and I know what bizdruciola means, which very few people do. And my French, if I work on it, is still moderate.
Yes, because she just asked you, did you visit both Italy and France? You've been everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I haven't been everywhere. Lots of places.
Have you been to Australia?
No.
Have you been to Fiji?
No.
Have you been to Tahiti?
No.
3 places I've been, you have been.
There you go.
Have you been to...
I can make a list. I'm going to bore these people to tears.
Have you ever been to me? That's a song. I've never been to me. That stupid song. All right, so let me ask you. Okay, so here's one thing.
My hair is not this color. I have to explain.
Your hair is really dark, and it's weird really because it looks bright blonde right now. But if I put a shadow on it, you can see it's pretty dark right now.
Does this make it darker?
Well, that's really attractive. I think you should sit that way the whole time.
Okay, that was ugly.
If you want any other questions, put them right here in this box. If you want to go online, no one wants to go online. Everyone's scared of you.
Oh,
okay.
Why? I'm such a darling.
I know.
Why is everybody scared?
I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Pretty, because the question that I keep getting, and you're going to be too afraid to answer, and I don't know if we should answer, but everyone keeps asking if you're in season 4 of Pretty. What do we tell them?
First of all, why would we shut up?
Why would I have this? Why would we do this chat if you weren't? That would just be
might
mean.
Indicate something, but if you're talking about am I in Pretty? No. If you're talking about did I waft past Pretty at some point?
While the camera was moving? Perhaps.
I don't think I'm allowed to have this conversation.
No, because I get punchy. Trisha Sheldon says, do you have Lola's wig ready to go again? Trisha won the script that you signed, and then she also won the first new season that I wrote.
Yes.
That's top secret.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
You parted with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I trust Trisha for now. For now, I trust her.
I don't know about that.
Okay, let's see. Tracy Elder said, okay. Trisha, we're shy, says Penny. No camera, my picture's ready. Okay, this is moving to. How does it work? How does it work to go online, dear Steve? Oh, all you have to do is see if you have if your camera hooks up. I am so frustrated, Donna says. I have only just figuring out how to chat on this thing. Yay, it worked. I've said nothing so far, Trisha Sheldon says. Trisha, you lie. Wait, I have other people in the room. Hold on. Oh, Mindy's here. Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Mindy, do you want me to invite you on? I like you. I know you. Mindy, is your camera on? Is it on? Let's see if it's on. Are you dressed? Oh, look at this. It says invite on air. I never just put you on air. I always ask first. If you want to be online and talk directly with us, you are welcome to. All I have to do is press a button or two.
Because otherwise we feel really unwelcome.
Mindy is setting up. All right, Mindy. All right, so we're going to bring Mindy on because she's waving. I love Mindy. Hold on. Here she is. Hold on.
Hi.
And 3, 2, Mindy!
Look what you did. Hi. There she is.
How are you?
I look really, really nice this evening. I just got home from work.
Oh, you look great. You have a little bit of feedback going on.
Yeah, I love your pink. That is pink, yes?
Thank you.
Your
Yes.
shirt is pink?
Yes.
Mindy came to How to Tell again this year. And Mindy's also one of the producers on Wait.
No.
which is a microphone's new web series coming.
I'm glad you said that because I said no, like I really know what that is, but I knew the way you said it. It was really important.
You faced it very well. How are things in your end of the coast?
They're rainy today.
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful.
Well, it is nice to see your face and your smile.
Do you have a question for either one of us?
I just tuned in, so I wasn't even prepared. What is? Do we have any specific subjects that we're talking about this evening?
War in the Middle East, and no, we're just yapping a yap.
Show business.
Show business in life. No, you can't say anything because I will smack you. But
That's right.
you saw the new episode of Pretty season 4 at How to Tell, and
Oh,
you said
yeah.
thumbs up or thumbs down or thumbs.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Good. All right, excellent. Great. That's all I need to hear. Okay, bye. That was great. We love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. See, that's how easy it is.
Yeah. I don't think this looks easy. I think it looks tremendously challenging.
All right, hold on. Donna is typing away. Let's get to Donna. Donna says, shooties, hold on. It's jumping up and down on me.
Why don't we get a little closer? Maybe it would help.
So I once heard Denise on a show where she sounded very young, which was about an evil doll which murdered your family members at night. Do you remember this? And if so, were you able to fall asleep with a doll in your room after it? By the way, I had a huge crush on Dennis Dimster in my childhood and enjoyed Ali accent-free much, though Bringing Up Baby is still my favorite Katharine Hepburn. So wait, what is she do? Was it a radio show?
No. Well, maybe. Honestly, I don't remember. I remember something called 0 Hour, and there was an imaginary friend, theoretically, called Mink, who turned out to be an alien who was going to take over the planet. I don't remember the one about a doll. I would guess.
Yes, radio. She was a little kid. Yes, it was 0 Hour. That's it.
Somebody just write that?
That's what Donna said.
Yeah.
And so did Penny.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. So you know what's always amazing is when you go and you listen to things and you watch things from 50 or 60 years ago and the subject matter, you're like, holy crap.
No, all the time. Not a clue. Bill and Susan Hayes wrote a book, kind of a history of their lives. And they remembered so many things that went on where I was in the room, I was part of the conversation, nothing. I remember very little except lines, it would seem.
All right, Stephanie says, I have an important question, and I know the answer. Denise, our little YouTube group sent you the magazine you liked so much at last year's Hot as Hell for your birthday. We sent it to ABC. Did you ever get it? You got it?
Yes, and I felt terrible that whoever had bid for it, and I don't remember, but I knew it was one of you gals. I felt terrible that you didn't have it because I have many of those pictures.
I think they got you a second one.
Oh, you got a second? Oh, that's right.
The one you have is a second one.
You're right. Why did I worry about it?
Because you signed the one cover, I know.
I remember doing that.
That was hard to get. I lucked out. See, we got you a second one I found on eBay, and that's where I found it too, but I lucked out because I just was tooling around on eBay and I found it. Fantastic. So you have it.
Me? I do, absolutely. Down there in that drawer where I keep all of my remembrances.
The remembrance drawer.
Do you think anybody will notice?
No. Donna Marie says Dimension X with a question mark?
Dimension X. I remember that name.
Okay.
Was that where 0 Hour was, or are we talking about the doll thing now?
I think it had to be one of them, huh? She'll tell us. We got you a second one found on eBay. We are so happy you got it.
Oh, I loved it. I really just felt terrible that you all didn't have it. That was all.
Oh.
I was a little guilty.
No, they have it. They have it. The doll thing, never mind. Moving on, Donna says.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I did thousands of shows. My dad counted them up once, literally, between radio and television. And
did you ever just want to be a kid and not be going to all these things? Did you ever just want to, you loved it?
My mother, who came from a world very different from show business, my dad, who was in show business, had asked me at one point that I remember, I think I must have been 10 to 12, somewhere in there, would I like to stop and I said, my mother, I'm quoting my mother, no, you can take anything away from me, but don't take that away. I got to go off and put costumes on and play. What do kids love to do most? Let's pretend.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, I loved that work. I have loved that work every minute of my life that I have done it. Absolutely no question.
How much fun was it working with Jeannie on Pretty?
That was so special. Working with Jeannie, I mentioned Tony, I mentioned Chris. So many people on Hospital, as well as on Days of Our Lives, are perfect acting companions as well as wonderful friends. Jeannie was that, and partly she had a perfectly good mother, but I did feel so much like her mother to a great extent, and I loved that thing, that magical thing of making a connection with another actor within the character, where at this, they talk about it being, it's all about being in the moment, that you are both there, heart and soul, at the exact same time, is one of the greatest joys in life. I think musicians who, orchestra musicians, philharmonic musicians, who play some of the most amazing music in the world, and all those pieces go together, I think they must have that feeling. You're part of something that's bigger than you are and gorgeous, and it's like you're flying. So working with Jeannie, working with Tony, the other people I mentioned, it's like flying. It's I get a little soppy sometimes. I say it's like touching the hem of God. It could not be any better.
Do you?
And Jeannie is funnier than I have ever seen her be in that show.
Right, I was going to say this.
It's hysterical.
Was it fun to play different characters, and then because
yeah.
It was a very short. I mean, we fired through things on Pretty so quickly because
we did everything of Jeannie's in one day. Is
yeah. And a lot of people didn't get to. We shot a lot of the reverses separately because we didn't have all right. So that's all right. So
she and I got to work together.
Yeah, you guys did. You were actually in the room.
For obvious reasons.
Well, because I'm kind. It showed on screen to all of us. Leslie and Laura are the reason I started watching GH, says Penny. Donna Marie says, how did you avoid being one of those former child stars on the cover of the National Enquirer? Were your parents very strict, or just sneaky enough not to get caught with your shenanigans? Yeah,
the answer is my parents.
Yeah.
I say to people who ask me about their child going into show business, I usually say only if you have my parents. They were so, because my dad he was originally a musician and then he became an agent. And my mother was just so smart and intuitive. And I was a very good student. I had very high grades.
What's the worst thing you ever did?
Worst thing?
Yeah, like as a teenager. What did you do? Smoke? Steal a car? Murder?
I was so good. I'm sort of getting into my bad years now. I was a really good kid. I was really shy. I was unbearably, I suppose, for a lot of people, shy, and acting freed me. That's the
What instrument did your dad play, Mindy would like to know?
He started with, as he used to say, the fiddle. He was in some of the big bands when he was very young. He was a philharmonic musician. He had his own little jazz group. He started with the fiddle. He wound up playing all of the woodwinds and double reeds.
Mindy says, do you have any old 8mm film from your childhood? My uncle just sent me 2 digitized from 8mm films from the 40s and 50s of my dad, aunt, and grandmother. So fun.
Somewhere, I was just looking to see where it is. I have 2 reels, canisters. Sure. This, I think, is probably disintegrating in there. Put a lot of things digitally remastered, as they used to say.
Another obvious question: do you like opera?
Yeah, very much. Not all of it. I love Puccini. I like lighter music. I'm not in love with, forgive me, everybody in Austria. When we were in Budapest, we were down the block and around the corner from the Opera House. And my husband and his director of photography and I would walk down every time the program changed. We'd find out when the program was changing, and we never make plans ahead. So we were always in the fifth tier. But after the first act, the lovely senior ladies who handle every level would wait, and you would come down and they would find you wonderful seats. The only thing I can tell you is I am not really interested in seeing Ring of the Nibelungen again.
Cassavetes continues, we just had,
Beethoven.
oh god, I'm going to screw that, Fansuella del West yesterday, Puccini.
I don't know that.
Have you ever been to Vienna State Opera?
Yeah, I was in the hotel right across the street from the opera
Mindy
house.
writes, wow, very cool cat your dad was. My dad played the bassoon. I played drums. I come from a musical family.
My dad played the bassoon too, I think, for a while.
Trisha asks, when are you going to do your real spit take? No, don't do it.
I
Don't
watched,
encourage
oh my
her.
gosh, I saw one of the best spit takes ever, watching old reruns of Mad About You and watching Helen Hunt do the most perfectly timed. I don't know. I had to create an opportunity, and it just wasn't that good.
No.
I really,
Your
really,
straight man
really-
was not very, Dan Kroll was not very good at that.
No, he was, I love him. He's darling, and he was awfully nice to me, but
we've had many adventures together. I will share this about you. One of my favorite memories, I think my absolute favorite memory, and I don't know if you remember, we met because I did, when I was 23 years old, I did a play called Mother's Day, and I
wrote it, yes.
I stalked you until you agreed to do it. And Trisha asked one time if there was a copy of it, and there is a copy of it, but I will never let anyone see it.
Was it bad copy or bad acting?
No, it's great acting and a great copy. It's the worst writing on the planet.
No, it was not. It was, as my husband once said, it was a play that had something to offend everyone.
Well, you invited me when we were done, because we worked so intensely together in all those 4 or 5 weeks of rehearsals, and then we did like 8 or 9 or 10 weeks of shows.
We kept extending.
We kept extending.
We were a success.
We were a success. And when it was all said and done, it was probably like, we started in June, it was probably late August, and you invited me to the Ojai house.
Mm-hmm.
And we were up in Ojai, and we went outside, and we picked all these, this fruit up from the ground, because you were really into jams, and remember?
God help us, yes.
You're making jams all the time, so
Yes.
you wanted to make some jams and stuff, and then you decided, and there's twofold to this, because this will hopefully make you guys laugh. You decided you wanted to make this apple crumble, but you couldn't. We tried 3 times. Like first,
I don't remember
oh my
that.
god, I'll tell you this.
Tell you.
You got out a mixer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you put like too much butter in, so it came out like glue. So you
Gosh,
come
I don't
out
remember that
and you
either.
just dump it in the sink. We're starting over. Then we try it with flour and it comes out like paste. Starting over. And we tried like 3 times. So finally you called. I'll tell you what this was. That's the funny part of it. But I'll tell you what my favorite memory of you is. You wound up calling your husband Richard, and he was in a meeting, and you very
Probably
nicely
at work on a film.
very nicely asked to interrupt, and he took the call, whoever he was meeting with, and you're like, how do you make the crumble again? And he's like, all right, what you want to do? And he just matter-of-factly told it, and the people in the room were laughing, and I thought it was so great that you had a relationship with somebody that you could call them up in the middle of the day when they're at work and whatever important or not important they are, and just ask them how to make a crumble. So I thought that was
I had forgotten that.
very magical.
I may have to keep them.
And we made the crumble, and you put it in the oven, and I was sitting on the floor.
In the kitchen?
In the kitchen. And you looked down at me, and you're like, why are you on the floor? Who sits on the floor? And I said to you, sit on the floor. And you go, I was 23 years old, and you go, I've never sat on the floor before. I've never sat. You sat on the floor with me. And then I said, wait, I'm going to blow your mind. And I said,
Not remembering.
do you don't remember this?
No.
I said, take my hand and lay down on your back. And we laid down on the back in your kitchen up there. And we both sat there, and you went, oh my God, I've never looked at this room from this angle. And I will never forget that moment, because as somebody who's always, my brain's always seeing through a camera.
Yeah, sure.
that I was just like, and I got you to lay down on the ground and just look up with me. And
I'm sure that was interesting.
The other memory I have of you up there, which is another one, is several weeks earlier, you were so kind. We did our show. It was July 4th weekend. We shut down for July 4th weekend. I'm like, we're not going to get anybody in. It was like a Saturday.
Yeah.
And you invited everybody up to Ojai. And
Wasn't I nice?
You were so nice. But you wanted to show us this, the path, and the water was really high, which I'm sure it hasn't been in a while, but the water was high. You had on this beige long skirt, and I'll never forget it because you just took your shoes off and waded right in. And the image of you, I wish I could have filmed it because it was about up to here, up to knees, and the skirt soaking wet, and you just kept going. And I was just like, she is so
I used to love doing that.
Comfortable where she is.
Yeah, I used to love getting in the water.
Now, what's your favorite memory of you? Okay. Penny says, on your radio days, I've searched as many as I could find. I discovered you worked with Ronald Reagan in a program called Ulysses S. Grant in his young days. You guys are, my God. How many radio shows average do you think you did?
My dad counted them. Boy, so long ago, and he's not with us anymore. A couple of thousand. And I said no. He may have been mixing TV and radio an awful lot, because there were wonderful shows that were special events, and there were shows that were series, and there were shows where you would just be the guest and not, one of the family. And for a long time, I went to a wonderful, amazing school in New York called Professional Children's School, which was created for children who worked in the theater. And I would finish school, and I would go over to NBC. I was under contract to NBC for a long time, but I did everything. And you go from when you do a 15-minute show, and then you go across the hall, and you do another 15-minute show. So I did a lot of shows. On
the Inn, we worked together on the Inn, which I didn't place this. She actually had this right here.
Yeah.
Good girl.
I was cleaning out closets.
Just looking for stuff to recycle.
No, trying to organize. Look at this place. I was trying to get it organized. My entire house.
Two things. One, at the diner for the Inn, what's the main thing that you remember from that shoot in the diner?
You mean that I liked best, or just what I remember most? Yeah. Being behind the counter in Lola's clothes and, cleaning with the rag and turning and I loved it. I've never worked in a restaurant or a diner, which is really, I keep moving this because I keep trying to find, I don't know, I feel like.
Mine's stuck. Like yours now you need to go closer. You're on roll, but you should go closer. Closer.
Now look how huge I get. It's like you're a little child next to me. So I'm trying to get us to where we're sort of.
So the diner, because you never worked in a diner.
I never worked in a diner. I loved doing that. And I loved one of my favorite moments, although not because it was pleasant, was you said to me, could you get her a little less New York? And it took me so long to get New York.
No, what happened was during the day, it got thicker. So I kept saying, pull it.
I was having such a good time with it.
What I remember about that day, and I think you remember about that day, is that diner is a mirror of itself. Basically, it was
twice as long as you think it was.
So we created a fake pretend wall so that we could put all our production stuff, but the rain came through LA that day.
Oh, yes. My God, it got hot.
We lost all the light. We lost all our natural light. We had to fake all the natural light with these giant 2Ks outside.
Monster light.
And we had nowhere to send everybody. And it got so hot in there because we had so much.
Here's something you don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know. There's something wrong with me. At the end of the day, we had really worked an extremely long day. The second day, we were shooting in the diner. And it was super hot, and it was super raining, and it was super, what we used to call back east, muggy. It was extremely humid. And I had to pee. And I went outside, and one of the guys came out with me, and I had Spanx on, and it took me, I was so hot between the sheepskin-lined boots and the woolen skirt and the woolen thing and the apron, and I couldn't get this thing peeled down off of me. And I kept thinking, he's going to think I'm in here doing drugs or something. It must have taken me half an hour to get in and get out. That's what I remember a lot about doing.
We taught Crystal Chappelle something that was fun, is that when we shot her pregnant first. We made the very last thing you saw in the Inn was actually the very first thing we shot, which was Crystal pregnant. But what we did is, that was Amy Ball. It was 3 bags of rice
Oh, I didn't know
in
that.
a big other bag, and then you tape it or you saran wrap it around the person. And Crystal was fascinated by this, and it was actually real looking.
I did an amazing moment of acting, which somebody did not actually keep in the film.
God, what happened?
Well, I did this great reaction, and you were on Crystal the whole time. Anybody would think she was starring in it.
Well, I'm going to do a show called Reaction, starring Denise Alexander. You were stabbing the hell out of those muffins, says Tracy.
That was fun.
That's in one of the outtakes, which I have to show you. I don't know if I sent you the link, but
you did.
I did. Okay, yeah,
did.
That was hilarious.
You know what? One of the fun thing was doing that little promo thing that we did.
Oh my God!
With the three. We did not know what we were doing.
I didn't know what we were doing.
He did not tell us what we were
just
doing.
Said,
he said, "You stand there. Stand
you say
like
this.
that. You stand there. You get up on top there." We didn't know what we were doing. Crystal had gone loopy. She couldn't remember for 3.5 seconds. And I got more Lola as we went, and he just stood there trying to figure out how to deal with it.
And I love Mark, because Mark is
That's what I'm talking about.
Mark is so charming, but he's also so gentleman.
Oh, he was funny.
I
love doing that. And the important thing, me.
Sure.
I was leaning on my chin like this.
Yes.
For this really long time, for about 45 minutes, to the point where everything here started shaking. You know how when you get really cold and your teeth really shatter? And I couldn't get it to stop. And Steve would say, "Don't move." And I would try to...
The reason why we said don't move is if you go watch it, you'll see they're gorgeously lit. Well, there were lights right here, about 5 feet back. And the thing is, you only had you got a light here, you have a face here, you only have this much room to cover. So I kept saying, don't, like, Mark kept going to lean. I go, you can't lean. All right, hold on. Katja says, speaking of making jam and baking, back to jam and baking, do you still like to bake and cook? If yes, what is your favorite?
I spent a lot of time when I left General Hospital. I wanted to see what it was like to be me when I wasn't doing that, when I wasn't her. And so I took some time off, and I was doing the laundry, and I was making all the meals. And my husband's a bit of a natural cook. He comes from a restaurant family. And I needed, but the recipe doesn't say that. You can't do that because the recipe doesn't. That was me. So I got pretty good at it. I'm still moderately good. I know now how to read a recipe and know that I don't have to follow it. I know we were making a salad recently. We were out of olive oil, and I didn't know what to do. And we had canola oil, but it was rancid. And I finally, I'm pretty much addicted to balsamic vinegar right now. I like the light one when it's a lighter salad, and I like the robust dark one when we put steak in it. And I factored in peanut oil, no, not peanut oil, forgive me, sesame oil, much more so. And so I have a little bit of a touch. Basically, I don't want to have to cook. I like to cook for people. If it's me, I go see what's at Whole Foods or Bristol Farms.
70 says, there's so much material of you out there on YouTube, particularly Leslie and Rick scenes. Do you ever watch anything?
Well, I'm going to say something, and I should have written to the people involved. I did not know that YouTube in that regard existed. Somewhere along the line, just a few years ago, through Steve, from the Darling Ladies in Austria, I think it was Katja who had put together...
She's in Germany.
Oh, that's right, Katja's in Germany.
They're all over the place.
Well, they're just right next.
Yeah, they're right, sure.
We're so ignorant here. She put together this montage. I'd never seen anything like it, and the music was wonderful, and I did not remember half of what she had in there, and I kept watching and thinking, oh, that was a cute outfit. Oh, my hair looked good. All the things you worry about when you're working. And it opened my eyes to that. I'm sorry, gonna finish.
Yeah, you finish, because I want to come back to that for a second. Go ahead.
Okay. Then I discovered that there are many other people, and they are such artists. Mary, is it Briere? I don't even know how to pronounce her name properly. It's astonishingly artistic. And I found so many things by people I did not know were doing this, and it brought that back to me in a huge way. And I was stunned. I was breathless. It was breathtaking when I first discovered it. And the artistry and the music and the care and the creativity and the fact that people remember. And I've never felt so much kindness. I've never felt so, I'm going to say dumb things like appreciate it. You work in television, I've done a lot of theater, and you know immediately they're all right there, and they're telling you how they feel about it, if it's funny or if it stopped them in their tracks or if they're with you or not. So those things on YouTube are beyond belief to me. I am more grateful than I can say, and I am in awe of the people who do them. I really am. No, I'm so sorry.
Katja wants you to know that it was Melanie. She would not even know how to make such videos.
Oh, so Katja, I'm so sorry.
Screw Katja. It's all Melanie.
Well, I remember you, of course, because we kind of communicated a little bit, and more importantly, when we met, we were able to talk to each other a little more easily.
More than Melanie, yep.
So please share this with Melanie, because she opened my eyes to a new world. I had never seen anything like it. I was stunned. I was speechless. And the more that I've seen, the more that I've seen of what other people have done, it has only grown. Truly.
Stephanie says you got to watch the Laura and Leslie montages out there. Makes you cry. We miss you both on GH.
Aren't you, darling? Thank you.
Well, this ties into what I wanted to say.
Yes.
What I want to ask you.
Yes.
You're filming a lot. You know, this happens with anything. You know, like when we did it's different. When we did the Inn, we did a crap load in 20 hours of filming.
Yes.
So it's like you forget a lot of things, and then you go back and you see, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. So my question to you is, you know, you have all these years of Days of Our Lives and General Hospital and Another World.
Yeah.
You have all this.
Those are my big long stays.
Yeah, and then you were a crazy nun on Sunset Beach.
He had been the executive producer, had been one of our directors on Another World, and he kind of wrote it with me in mind, or he told me he did, and that's all you have to say to an actor, boy. If you're ever in a position where you're going to try and get an actor to do something, just tell them they wrote it especially for them.
So my question for you is, of all the times, what stands out? What moments, you know, is there a moment or two that you just, you do remember and you're like, not that I nailed it, but I felt something right now. Like, what is it?
You mean just on one show or in my life?
I mean, in any of these shows.
I worked with Fran Chautone in a not craft theater, but it was the doctor one, Ben Casey, playing a teenage Candy Striper. That was an amazing experience. Most of my experiences have been amazing. There have been one or two times where I thought, boy, I'd like more than one or two. I'd like a chance to go back and do that again, please. But way more that I remember specific things and specific moments and specific. One of the things I've loved most, I don't know what show it was. It was a very famous character actor in films called Akim Tumirov. And we were doing part of an anthology, which is a different story every week. And it was about a group of buildings that were built around a courtyard, and all of the people from the buildings, probably in a city like New York or Chicago or something like that, back in the earlier to middle days of the last century, and how those families interacted, and I played a teenager. I've always remembered that. I remember more of the things that I did that were individual things. But when I got to do a series where I did 3 to 5 shows a week for as much as, with Another World, it was just 2.5 years, but 12 years on one, 7.5 years on another. I'm not going to say they tend to run into one, but I don't really think you can remember everything. You have to learn this show, and your 20 pages, your 10 pages, your 50 pages, but you have to forget it because the next day you have to do another set. Do I remember moments? Absolutely. I remember one moment on Days of Our Lives working with Eddie, where we had exposition of other people's story, and no actor likes that. And we were sitting in a restaurant, and we know our lines, but oh dear. And he said to me, how about if we, through this scene, as we play it, talking about this terrible thing that has happened to these people, why don't we just play that I have a new tie on and I want you to notice it? And I said, I'm going to play that I have noticed it and I hate it. And we actually did that as we were repeating this dialogue, which was, just bringing people up to date on the story with somebody else. That was a lot of fun. I remember moments working with Tony Geary where you just look into his eyes and the connection is electric. I have found that with Tyler Christopher a few times. I've never told him that, which is really terrible. I remember thousands of moments. Yes, I do.
We're going to wrap up here in another minute or two, so if you have any final
I'm having
questions.
the best time.
I know, we've been on for an hour. Should we do another hour? No, look at the timer's right there. See it right by the live button? 59,
like I can see anything. I
58,
see
1 hour.
Oh, wow.
So, all right, so we're going to wrap this up here. And,
thank you.
Thank you. I have, because a couple people have asked, people have been asking, are we going to do more of the inn? Are we going to do more of the inn?
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear.
Okay.
He gave me an idea of a story he had. I thought it was very interesting. I disagreed, although I mentioned this once.
Yeah, I know.
I think that there are things that you give away and then, they were a big mystery and then, who cares? And I wanted to keep them. Isn't that what I said to you? Yeah. I wanted to keep more of the mystery going.
Yeah, that's too bad.
You said, yeah, that's too bad.
And no, I said there should be. And perhaps we will see you in the new season of Pretty.
Or at least flying by a window.
Tricia says before we leave, well, a couple people said, thank you, Denise. Thank you. This has been wonderful. Thank you, Pradana.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Steve. Do that again, Steve, please. Tricia would like to know, what the hell did Teddy dig up? Sorry, we're out of time. Denise, you have been so lovely. I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit. That's from Mindy. Tracy says, thank you. We must do this again. Maybe earlier for us East Coasters.
Oh, my gosh, Steve, it's so late for them. You people have to go to work. And
oh, my God. Here's it. You'll be with me on this. What we love more than living out here than anything is when the Oscars come on, because the Oscars start at 5 o'clock for us, and we're done. We're done by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And
9 o'clock.
We're so happy. You suckers have to stay up until 11.
People ask me if I went, and I say I don't go unless I or someone I know very well is nominated. I sit home in my jammies.
Yeah, of course.
I have popcorn. And
this was really, really fun. Thank you, guys, and thank you all for coming. And hi, sweetheart. Which one is this?
Bobby.
I would pick you up, but I think you'll freak out.
No, what he will do is grab the floor and make himself into an iron dog of 900 pounds.
He's not a biter, is he?
No.
Come here. We're going to put you on camera.
They were rescues. They were street dogs. Okay. And they were rescued. Yeah, you see?
You're brave.
That's good. This is the only clean part on him right
And
now.
how much is he?
25 pounds.
No, I mean, how much does he cost if we want to mail him to somebody? Make a bid now. Oh, listen, I want to say something. Put you down.
Good boy, Bobby. Good boy.
Okay, here's what I do want to say really quickly, and you tie into this.
Okay.
I want to say a big, huge thank you. We reached our Kickstarter goal, and a huge surprise this morning. I woke up this morning to one email that says, congratulations, you've reached your mark, and a second email telling me that a man named Brian Mickelson, who we know from Last Hot as Hell. One before. Brian came on board in a huge way. Brian actually donated $1,000.
Brian, you are amazing.
Amazing. So
don't tell your mother.
Yes. Shh. I hope he has it.
Well, the thought was there. The love was there.
We have, and I want to say thank you so much, because these Kickstarter things are so stressful, and your support means so much to us. And I have. This is the God's honest truth, because you should put your hands over your ears. I have personally, along with my husband Jim, invested close to $40,000 in Pretty over the last 5 years. And that is just in making it, in publicizing it, in trips to festivals and all the things. So to have you guys support us back and understand that, we don't make any money off of it. We do it because it's fun.
That's why we would do anything for it.
And it's fun, and we have fun. We have blast. So maybe you'll be in it, maybe you won't. I don't know. Peeking through a window. Well, it's 40 years in the future. We already know that, so you just be...
Your point of view is that she would have croaked by now. My point of view is she has so much Botox, she's going to live for 200 years. I want to learn the show.
There's an episode of Wonder Woman, and we'll see if anybody remembers this. I remember this. But there's a floating brain head with an eyeball in this bucket of, clear like pus stuff, and I so wanted that to just do that for you. Except you voice it over like that. She just floats and has a tiara.
No, just one eye with the eyelash.
With the tiara floating in the water.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much, and we're gonna say goodbye now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll have another one of these soon, and maybe you'll do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a ball. This is great. I love this. I don't have to. You don't even know if I have pants on. Well, you know, I do actually have pants on.
And she
However,
kicks. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, how do I end it?
I haven't.
This button right here that says End Spreecast?
Possibly.
Good night.